Currently being a cat mom, I thought I'd sit down for 10 minutes and let this stuff behind air off. No sooner did I sit down than the Monty Bonte, who is currently sat behind me, kicking me in the ass on my own chair. Where did I go wrong? Monty, what are you doing? I have to show you. Kick me off my own chair. Who's there? Who is in my chair? Who's having a little nap behind Mum in her chair while she's trying to do work on the computer? Which is why I've taken a break, so you can all see who's pinched my chair. Yes, it isn't the Monty. And he's so tired, look at him. Oh, he just wants to curl up. Just wants to curl up with Mummy. Well, I'll just perch on the end so I don't sit on your magnificent fluffy tail. Oh my goodness me, he's such the lad today. I love you, Monty. You're a nuisance, but I love you. I wouldn't be without him. He is my absolute bud. He's just had a tiny saucer of Whiskers for lunch. I've just had some chicken soup. Good old Jewish penicillin. Can't beat it. I've not actually been feeling very well recently. Flipping menopause. You're soaring along in your 20s, you're gorgeous, fit, no fat bits, everything's perky. Roll on your 40s and everything's starting to fall off and drop down round your knees. It's not much fun being a woman. It's a good job we can have a sense of humour about it, isn't it? I tell you. So, apart from that, I'm just doing mundane, boring invoicing today. Tuesday's an invoicing day. It's always admin on a Tuesday. Getting things sorted, doing a little bit of ironing, getting things where it should be. And hopefully reading a book as soon as possible. Yeah, I'm getting back into reading. Now that I've got one of them on night shifts, my eldest on night shifts and my youngest is in South Korea, Mummy has a little bit of time to sit down on her backside and pick up a book. And I'm so looking forward to doing that. But reading will happen in the next hour when I have finally got the invoicing out of the way, So it's all fun until you've got to go to work. I say, running your own business is not easy because you have to wear many hats. You have to be chief accountant, chief bottle washer, chief everything really, chief of fairies. Yeah. I don't know, sometimes where I find the energy and the time in the day to do it all, and it's not easy. Before I used to get help, like there would be times that I'd have to use an out of school club, but I haven't used one of those in years, and I actually don't know if they still run out of school clubs and youth schemes and things like that during the summer. Honestly, I salute you mums that take care of children through the school holidays and hold down a full-time job. It is not easy. It really isn't. And this is where teamwork comes in with your husband. And sometimes it just feels as though you're playing tag with each other. One drops off, one picks up, or if neither of you are there because you've got commitments with work or something else, it's always nice when you've got a relative, like a grandma or a grandpa, or nanas and granddads, if you call them that, to take care of the children and sometimes have them to stay overnight. You know, if you're both of you going to be working away, it's whew, raising children today. It is not easy, and it really isn't. And I can understand and see the pressures that the younger parents are facing more so than what I actually had to face. And I salute you. I really do. I think mums and dads, you're doing a great job, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I think you're doing all right. You can hold down the full-time job, take care of the kids, and remember, unity, right? That's why we wear these. The tiniest handcuff you will ever own. So make sure your cellmate is as nutty as you. Mine is. Yeah. You know that old saying, pick your favourite person, get married to them, and then you get the luxury of annoying them for the rest of their lives. It does work both ways. Yeah, it's not easy, marriage. It really isn't, and you just need to find your own nutter. Yeah, and sit with them and ride this thing game forever, for as long as you can. Yeah, find your own weirdo. Yeah, I found mine. I'm sure he's found one in me. Yeah, so, you know, good luck to all you parents out there. The 6 weeks holidays are coming up, and boy, that's a hard time. You know, you get 2 weeks off if you're lucky, and you take them on a summer vacation, and the rest of the time you're scrabbling around trying to find childcare or reduce your hours at work so that you can take care of them. Because childcare these days costs a fortune. You know, I'm thinking 20 years ago, it used to cost me around about £1,000 a month to send my two girls into daycare. All right, and that was a Monday to a Thursday, and that was almost full time, and that was £1,000 near enough 20 years ago. Well, in fact, it is 20 years ago because my youngest is just near enough 21, and my other one is near enough 22. So I have absolutely no idea how much childcare costs now, but I can imagine it's a heck of a lot more than £1,000 a month. I bet it's nearer to two. And when you factor in what your wages are and the mortgage payments have gone out and everything else, how are you making ends meet? I have no idea. But I salute you for finding a way to make those ends meet and remembering that it's not always going to be like this. It will get easier. I promise you that. It will, because they'll do well at school, they'll move to high school, and then they'll be doing their A-levels or an MBQ or an apprenticeship, and then perhaps if they're doing A-levels, they'll probably go on and do a degree, you know. And by this point, you've got them to some form of adulthood, and then they leave home, and then you become an empty nester almost, like me. I tell you, I'm such an empty nester sometimes when I think about my children, you know, out at work and one the other side of the world. And I miss my baby fairy. I really do. I miss my big girl fairy, and she's fast asleep in bed. She's having doing another night shift tonight. And, you know, just Monty and myself going for a bop around the house. In fact, even he's crashed out. I don't know if you can hear, but he's snoring. Yeah, proper manly snores. We've just found out today that he's a Norwegian forest cat, or as they're known as wedgies. And they are so full of character. I've never had a wedgie before. Don't know, no laughing. I didn't mean that kind of wedgie. Okay, behave. They are nicknamed wedgies. Thank you very much. And he'll be sorted being up north where we are, because we get some brutal winters. Whew. Sometimes, and this is why I prepare stuff as well and get June and July for me are winter preparedness months. I do the bulk of my prepping now, and then I add to it as I go through and get to like the colder side of the year, more towards winter. And the reason why I do the prepping now is so that I've got a plan for if something goes wrong. You know, preparation, it makes sense, right? And sometimes we have had the village cut off and no one in and no one out. The roads have been taken out. We've had a flood one year, 2015, before my husband had his heart attack. The village was cut in half through the Boxing Day floods. I have put that on a playlist for you so you can see the devastation that happened to us that particular winter. But we've had times where we've had ice rain come down and the roads have been, you can't drive in them because it's like sheet ice over the roads. And we've had times when it snowed so hard that the village again has been cut off. And you know, you're on your Jack Jones, no one's coming in, no one's getting out, and you just need to cope with what you've got. Fortunately, the last couple of winters have been particularly mild, but as we're having such a wet summer, I have a sneaky feeling that this winter is going to be a toughie again. So I'll start now. We've started with snow tyres. They're on order. The car goes in the next month for its winter service. I'm getting the brakes done. We're getting anything that bushes that might have like gone. It's always better to have a bush go than a suspension arm, right? And some of the roads around here are so knackered from all the bad weather that we've had, and we're still waiting for the council to pull a finger out and sort it, which is quite frustrating. But hopefully one day it will happen. So yeah, we get all these things done and buttoned up and sorted out, because you don't want to be getting to the bad weather and then you're grabbing your butt with both hands and like jumping up and down saying, what now? What do I do now? Well, had you been smart about it, you'd have sorted that out in the good weather. And it's a bit like that Aesop's fables with the ants and the grasshopper. And all the grasshopper wanted to do over the summer was jump around and play his violin and have fun in the sun. And all the ants were working, putting food to one side and making sure that the ant hill was taken care of. And then when it came to winter, then they were all snuggled up inside and had plenty of provisions, and the grasshopper was outside shivering and hadn't got any food and nothing prepared. And that is life. So what are you going to be, an ant or a grasshopper? Or I'm not saying that you can't have fun. I'm not saying that you can't have, a nice summer and go outside and enjoy the garden and have a bit of sunshine on you. But all while that's going on, you need to be in the back of your mind preparing for the next 6 months and saying, well, have I got enough food in? Have I got enough medical equipment in? Has my husband got enough heart medicine in? Do I have enough winter clothing for everybody? How are our boots? What are our jackets like? And it's all little things like that. Tiny little insignificant things. When it comes down to it, if you haven't got it when you need it, you're in trouble. Have you ever heard the saying, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it? The other one that I live by is two is one and one is none, right? If you have one thing and it breaks and it is the most important thing in the universe to you and the running of your home and the comfort of your family, and you suddenly ain't got it, always make sure you got backups for your backups, right? It makes sense. You know, I'm not talking about tying a red cloth round my head and running around outside like Rambo or Ram Mom. You know, I'm not on about doing that. What I'm on about is practical preparedness to get you through a bad time. It makes sense. So instead of thinking about it, do it. Do it slowly, do a little bit each week, and then before you know it, you got a nice little selection of things that will be there when times are hard. And who knows what winter's going to be like this year? We may have an entirely brand new government that's come through. We may have loads of things. We might have gone to war with Russia. I mean, are we at war with Russia now? I don't know. I suppose it depends on how Mad Vlad is feeling today. Please don't nuke me, Mad Vlad. I'm only a little fairy, and I live in Yorkshire, and it's a pretty part of the world. And I've got a cute little kitten called Monty, and well, he deserves to live as well. Yeah, don't nuke me. You know, when we were growing up in the 80s, that was the one thing that we were, I suppose we could say we were really, really paranoid about, is nuclear war. I mean, we've had the epic movie The Day After, which, if you've not seen it, it's an American mini series on TV. I think it's free on YouTube, and if you've not seen it, do watch it. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And we did a British version called Threads, and I actually think the British one is a little bit more gritty and a little bit more realistic than the American one. The American one seemed to be a little bit happy. In nuclear war is not happy, by the way, but it just seemed to have a happier kind of vibe running through it. Hear me. Oh, I'm using a Gen Z word, vibe. Yeah, but Threads was a little bit more flipping out. God, that's a bit bleak. Ew. Yeah, and it had a very, very dark and bitter ending to Threads. And then you think about it, the books out there, you know, Alas Babylon, absolute classic by Pat Frank. And if you've not read it, perhaps your school now doesn't run that book through English literature. It was at one point, it was the book that was used in school. You know, that one, Of Mice and Men. Gosh, what was the other books that they used to do? Zed the Zachariah. That's a good one. That's about nuclear war as well. And gosh, just trying to think of all the different books that the children have had over the years. There's been quite a few, but those are the ones that really come to mind. That and the one with all the boys on the island. Oh gosh, I did a review on it not long ago. I'm going to have a little look at my content. Lord of the Flies. Yeah, the one with the little boys on the island. Oh my goodness me, that is savage. Those children are feral little monsters. You wouldn't want to be babysitting them. Oh goodness no. You know, but those are very good books. Down to a Sunless Sea. I've reviewed that one recently, and that one's on my playlist. Brother in the Land. Awesome. Awesome book. Children of the Dust by Louise Lawrence. Excellent children's literature. It's a very soft and gentle way to explain nuclear war to a child, is that book. It's very old. It is a very old book. It must be 30 years, or maybe 40 years since that book's been written. But fantastic. Really is fantastic. Neville Shute on the beach with the residents of Australia being the last people alive really on Earth as the nuclear dust goes towards them in the southern hemisphere, and it will eventually cover the Earth and it will kill everybody from radiation poisoning. You know, it really, war is the answer, then it was a stupid question. I think that's Spike Milligan, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's a Spike Milligan quote or saying, something like that. So yeah, you know, I mean, that's what preparation is. I mean, you ain't going to survive nuclear war, right? The radiation will get you in the end. You might live through the blast, but the living will envy the dead. I can assure you on that. Now, things that practical things that I prepare for is bad weather, right? You never know when you're going to get bad weather. And, you know, even the best meteorologists in the world can't really tell you how bad it's going to be. It's a case of stick your head out the window, and hopefully when you look back in, you still got it on your shoulders. So yeah, I prepare for bad weather. I prepare for bad finances, loss of a job. Maybe I have a bad month and I don't get any work in. I mean, that's touch wood. That's never happened because I'm damn good at what I do. Yeah, and there's not many of me around. Yeah, I am rather unique in what I do. And, you know, so I prepare for things like that. Ill health. You know, you never know when someone may have a heart attack. My husband, or a family member, you know, becomes sick and you've got to take time out to take care of them. You know, it's practical things like that I prepare for. And, you know, all the rest of the things that are going on. I mean, we may have a horrific 2008 financial crash again, which I have experienced running a business in a financial crash, and it is not easy. I salute anyone that can start a business in a recession and keep it going, right? Because you have a gift. You do. And although many people may not see it, I bet they're the ones that turn to you for help. I bet they do. You've got to have a really strong mindset. You have to be absolutely brutal. Remember the saying I told you that you don't have to outrun the bear, but you have to outrun the person that's at the side of you. Let them become bear food, right? And that is the mental attitude that you need to have when running a business, right? You are not bear food. Everybody is relying on you. You are going to be a success. Your business is going to be amazing. And everybody is going to want a piece of your ass. Oh yes, they will. I always think about Marie Kondo, and she says, hold the object in your hand, and if it doesn't give you intense joy, you have to throw it away. So I grabbed the electric bill, the gas bill, the water bill, the council tax, and I held them in my hand, and they were not giving me intense joy. So I threw them out the window. You have to have a sense of humour. That's the other thing about running a business. You have to see the funny side of things. It might not look very funny at the time, but you have to have gallows humour. You have to have a really dark sense of humour to be able to get yourself through the tough times. That's why keeping this positive mental attitude, what do they call it, a PMA? I think I've got PMA, PMT, PMTV. I've probably got them all. But yeah, having a very dark sense of humour when things are incredibly difficult is a good way to handle stress. It really is. Now, and being able to problem solve. Yeah, that's one of the things running a business. You have to have eyes in your arse. You really do. Because there's always going to be somebody who's trying to take one on you and trying to basically pull the wool over your eyes, right? It's a difference between shine and shinola. That's Steve Martin in the film The Jerk. Yeah, it's the difference of knowing between shine and shinola. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Yeah, it really probably is. And there are no free lunches in this world, right? You do not get anything for free. There is always a catch. And you have to, like I say, you got to have eyes in your ass, especially running your own business in this climate, because you never know when someone is going to come along and try to do you harm, and they will. Believe me, I know, I've been there. I've got the t-shirt. I could write a rule book. Do not trust anybody and carry a big stick, right? That's an Alan Sugar saying, that one is. And that guy, yeah, he's seen it, he's done it, he knows what he's talking about, and so do I. Believe me, I have been trusting in the past and it has bitten me on the ass. No more. But every time you do something, you learn. You make a memory. Yeah, a reinforced memory. And you know what works and what doesn't. You understand? You see where I'm coming from. So you need to have your wits about you. You need to have these you need street smarts, right? You really do. It's not easy running your own business. It's tough. It's mentally tough. It's mentally draining. And raising a family and running a home and taking care of everybody and being responsible. The word responsible, it sure makes you grow up in a quick damn and in a hurry. And that's why you need a good husband, a good partner behind you, at the side of you, with his arms around you, saying it's okay and you can do this. You can do this because I'm doing this with you. You know, my husband is my rock. He has given me the kick up the arse that I've needed now and again, especially when I can be a bit It's not gone right. I'm fed up. He's like, get hold of yourself, woman. You can do this. You've been doing this for 13, 14 years. You can do this for 13 to 14 more years. Yeah. What is it? The years slip along easily. It's the days that are tough. So, yeah, it's really, it's not easy working for yourself. It really isn't. But the rewards when you get it right are brilliant. But you just have to be on your guard. People will try and take advantage of you. They will rob you blind if they can. They will stab you in the back and the front. And, oh, be aware of the smiling assassins, because you think that they've got your best interests at heart. No, they don't. They've got their own best interests at heart. They really do. Let them be bare food. You are better than that. You can do better than that. You can outrun them. They're bare food, right? Remember that. It is not, it's just not easy. But when you get it right, the rewards are endless. Yeah, they truly are. So that is one of the reasons why we prepare. We take care of things. We make sure that we have these things in reserve in case we need them. Because we've got a little guy. Oh, I don't know if you can hear him, but oh, he is snoring like a good one. He just loves to curl up behind me. It's his favourite spot. That and my feet. He's obsessed. My feet at night are not safe, and neither is my husband's. We got to the point where we told him, Kitty Kruger, put your knives away on your feet. Leave our toes alone. We need them. He's just a little monkey. He really is. But he's absolutely gorgeous. But I'm going to have to go now because this invoicing will not wait. It needs to be done today. I know. No rest for the wicked. I must have been pure evil in a previous life. I have had the life of life. Anyway, my darlings, take care. Until tomorrow.